Welcome to the New Life Stories channel. We hope you will have fun with us. Enjoy watching.
My name is Lillian. I'm 55. I look much younger than my years. Apparently, good genetics and a healthy lifestyle are paying off. I recently stopped working at the firm I've given most of my life to. I'm a lawyer by profession. I specialize in family law, and now I counsel clients of several law firms. On the internet, I read a lot of different life stories about the relationships of couples with large age differences. As a rule, these are young women and adult men. It's less often the other way around. I didn't understand older ladies who get into relationships with younger guys at all. You know how people still wash the bones of such couples. Until the story I'm about to tell you happened to me. But first things first. I'm a widow. My husband died a few years ago. He was 15 years older than me. He gave his whole life to science and became a famous scientist in our country. I never felt any discomfort with him. I lived behind him like a stone wall. We have a son, Lucas. He is an adult and is now, unfortunately, very far away from me. He works as a volunteer doctor in Africa. He helps poor African children. When he sends me pictures of life in some African countries, I feel horror and pity for these poor people. So I often say to myself, we live very well. We should not anger God, but be happy with what we have. I live alone in a large apartment. I have enough money to live. I am alive and well. Home, work, home. This is my usual way of life. I don't always have enough time for everything. Very rarely I manage to get my close friends out to the theater or to an exhibition. So I'm usually bored with myself. Then I decided to rent a room in my apartment to some girl student. Not far from my house is the building of a nationally renowned university. So what? I'll have a domestic helper, I'll have someone to talk to, and I could use the extra money. Valuables, money, and important documents I did not keep at home, so I did not have to fear theft. Not thinking long, I wrote and pasted a few ads directly on the stand of this university. What was my surprise when the ad was answered not by a female student, as I had indicated, but by a student. A young man called himself Quentin, his voice bright and life-affirming. He came to see the room, said that he wanted quietness, proximity to the university and the subway, and also important is the intelligence of the hostess. On my objections that I was actually looking for a lodger and a girl, Quentin assured me that he, in addition to studying, also works a lot, so it would be no trouble at all. I looked at this stylish and intelligent Quentin. He reminded me of my husband in his youth. So I gave up and agreed to give Quentin a room. Quentin immediately decided to make me feel at ease. He bought a bouquet of peonies, a large chocolate sponge cake, fruit, and offered to celebrate his housewarming party. He said it was his upbringing to be grateful. Despite the fact that he disappeared all day at school and work, in the evening he would call me for a walk, replaced my friends in cultural events, and even got rare tickets to the premieres of theater productions. My friends were surprised and even found reasons to come to my place in the evenings to look at such a lodger. They admired him, and Quentin complimented me and kissed my hands like a knight. Lucky you, Lillian. After all these years, you seem to have a suitor. My friends invite me. Why don't you sublet Quentin to us? They teased me. I, of course, was pleased with the attention of this young man. In the evenings, I tried to cook dinner not only for myself, but also for him. A few weeks later, on a Friday evening, he suddenly arrives with a bottle of good red wine and snacks, and a small bouquet of my favorite white roses. Lillian, he said to me, it's my birthday today. Let's celebrate with you. My girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend. I don't even have anyone to celebrate with. I've lost both my girlfriend and my friend. Quentin even wore a suit for the occasion. I changed the outfit to an evening gown as well. Where else am I gonna wear this dress? We quickly set the table. Quentin's eyes were filled with sadness and sorrow, and he poured us each a glass of wine and played slow music from his phone in the background. I hadn't had wine in a long time. It was sweet with a nice flavor. I got hungover very quickly. After 2 of those glasses, Quentin asked me to dance. I do not remember how it happened that his lips greedily kissed me, and my dress fell off my body in a moment. And our relationship with him, starting from that evening, took a new turn. I opened not even a second, but a third breath. I was flying from such passions and had not experienced for many years. And somehow I did not notice that I began to make expensive gifts to my lover. I didn't charge him any rent. One night he told me that he was being downsized at work. The only way out was to go to a branch of the company in another city. I was against it, of course. I started helping him with money. Quentin eventually began to be late and came late at night, and sometimes he was gone for days. And it was like I had a blur in my eyes. In those moments, I just didn't pay attention to it all. But one night, Quentin came home late, as usual. He went to take a shower and left his cell phone on the table. The phone vibrated incessantly. Messages were coming in. I picked up the phone and I was about to take it to Quentin. It could be something very important, but my eyes fell on the screen, and there were previews of the messages, and I couldn't help but read them. I just stopped dead in my tracks. There's a message from a woman saying, "Kitty, where have you been? I can't wait for you, bunny. I sent you some money," and stuff like that. I couldn't resist. I opened his phone. I didn't have a password, and I saw the pictures of the women he was talking to. They were all my age, and then it hit me. I got on the very real Alfonso, who fooled the head of a woman of age, such gullible simpletons like me, and thus simply lived off them. I didn't throw a tantrum. I put the phone down. I quietly pulled out and took a picture of his passport. By the way, he lied about his birthday. The next day, I sent scans of Quentin's passport to my colleagues at the law firm, asking them to check this man out through their contacts. I got the result that same evening. Quentin was a professional Alfonso who had victimized many women in our city. He never studied, never worked, but shuttled from one lady to another. He rubbed himself into the confidence of only single women over 50, disposed of them. They themselves gave him money and kept him, and then he disappeared. Then the deceived women realized everything that was going on, but they did not turn to the police. They gave him everything themselves, with their own hands, and at the same time had intimate relations with him, and no one needed an eye. I, of course, was not a girl to make scandals, and in a calm, confident voice I told him that I knew everything and asked Quentin to move out as soon as possible. He understood everything, suddenly changed his face, quickly pulled himself together, and said in a very rough voice, "Fool, I gave you a fairy tale, but you didn't appreciate it, and you still reproach me with money. You have to pay for everything, dearie, and now you sit alone." I never saw him again. According to rumors, he left our city in a hurry. Apparently, he will conquer single women of age in other regions. And even after that, I don't wish Quentin any harm. I'm sure one day he'll get his ass kicked, and he'll get what's coming to him. There's no other way in life. It's been a while. Everything in my life, after the worry, resentment, and stress seemed to be getting better. Until one day I fainted at home. The most unexpected thing was waiting for me when I found out the reason for my indisposition. I was pregnant. To say that I was shocked would be an understatement. How could I have missed it? Yes, there were some confusing health issues. I put it down to nerves from the Quentin situation. But to get pregnant at my age, I couldn't have thought of it. So what now? I'm not getting an abortion. I could never kill a baby. My only hope is that nature will take pity on me and won't let me carry. And if God does give me this baby, I'll do everything I can for it. So I've been talking to you. I hope no one will judge. Dear viewers, if you liked this story, give us a like and write in the comments what you think about it. See you again.